methamphetamines. You do some meth, you can look for comics for a long time.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
I'm in such a fucking walk into.
This is the show. This is the. So I just want to say thank you very much to all of our viewers. This is obviously our last show, and
remember, this is TVMA, and this is what we have to throw this graphic up pretty often.
Not Near Mint is a show designed for audiences over the age of 18. If you're a viewer under the age of 18, please stop watching Not Near Mint. It's not that we don't want you as a fan. It's just that we'll probably get in trouble if you watch us.
Yeah.
Shall we begin? Let's begin.
Welcome to Not Near Mint, everybody. My name is Rob Wurst, host of the Not Near Mint Show. If you're seeing this face, you must know that it's Wednesday, New Comic Book Wednesday. It is June 24th, 2020. And I am a little bit pissed at Marvel and DC for many reasons. But before we wind up getting through any of those, first, how about we go and do a couple little things here. I wound up creating some of these because I see that many of you seem to really like these. So first, I need to tell all of you, this is a show that is made for 18 and over. So if you're not 18, you might want to scoot out there. But if you don't, that's fine too. So let me go ahead and pop this in. And we want to do a little bit of shout out here to those people that are in the community that have joined us today. We have 10 people that are joining us. We even have some people that have been tailgating in the background. So this is the YouTube shout outs. Let's see who's joining us. I want to thank everybody that has joined us here this evening. We're joined by Sharon, Life with Two YouTubers. Thank you. Best stinking darn show on Wednesday. I don't know about that. My last name is Worst, and I do advertise this is the worst comic book YouTube show on the internets. Let's see. Who else do we have? We have Eduardo Escobar here because Miracleman advertises for us on the Twitter sphere, because that's how I got to know him. Let's see, who else? We even have Lady Fantastic that's joining us in the chat room, so she'll be able to say hi to all you guys. We have Flashpoint joining us this evening, along with, this is a new name I haven't seen before, William Smallwood. Thank you for joining us this evening. And let's see, anybody else? We have Comics on the Mind. He is back tonight. Also tonight, for those that aren't aware, tomorrow I will be on Comic Man Andy's channel. It will be the Comic Core at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be discussing how we store our comics. Also tonight, we're going to be discussing Lady Fantastic's push to 500 subscribers on YouTube. So let's see who else is in the chat room. We have House Till the End. My man, good to see you. We have Smiley Tori. I think I just lost that there. There you go. Hey, Smiley Tori. Good to have you in the house tonight. Let's see, anybody else here? And I think we're just about caught up. So what I wind up having here is the comic book hunt. So some of y'all might want to know what the top 10 comic books are on the market. Now, if you take a look at the 6 months later that you see JP doing, you'll often notice that things usually don't retain their value. So as of June 24, 2020, to me, these are the top 5 books. I'm going to discount anything that's basically brand new. So the number 5 book of this week is Spider-Man Volume 2, issue number 4. The first kiss between Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy is going for raw at about $30 average on eBay. Number 4 is the first full appearance of the Batman Who Laughs in Teen Titans Volume 6, issue number 12. Raws are now going for $130 on eBay. This is because of the new Scott Snyder death metal book that just came out last week. Now, Action Comics Volume 2, issue number 9 is the second appearance of Calvin Ellis. They think that this is the first time that he is on a cover. It's not. His first appearance is in Final Crisis number 7. That one's going for about $30 right now as well, but it's the variant that you can actually see him at the very top. It's very small, but you see his face right there. Let's see, what else do we got here? We have number 2, Daredevil, Volume 2, issue number 9. It's the first appearance of Echo. They are now casting for a Indian American who is deaf to appear in a Disney Plus TV show. And the number 1 book of the week, of course, is Ultimate Fallout, issue number 4. When you look at Key Collector Comics app, it does say $425. You go to eBay and you see it kind of floating anywhere between about $220. Some people have sold it for $450, but these are sold prices as of June the 24th, 2020. So these were the comic books that came out this week. So we're going to bring in, let's see, we're going to pop myself out here and let's bring in number 1, the person that you've been waiting for a few weeks now. It is his majestic return. And if you're here, you know you got it. It's Comics on the Mind.
What up, you guys? I'm glad to be back. I'm here with my buddy, Ben Grimm. It's Clobber John! I'm glad to be back.
I got my Ben Grimm right here. I'm ready to go with some Ben Grimm talking about that later.
Oh, yeah.
So I hope you've been well.
I've been doing pretty good. Putting a lot of time into gardening.
Well, in times like these, it's probably helpful to stay busy, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, since we now have you, let's add one more person. Eeny, meeny, Miracleman.
Hey, everybody.
What up?
How you doing, boys?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Yes, what do you think of my flaming carrots? Pretty, aren't they?
Yes. All the colors in the rainbow.
I'll tell a little story about those a little bit later on today. But yeah, that's issue 2 through 6 there. It's pretty cool, man. They're pretty nice.
Yeah, I don't see those very often in the wild.
No.
There's somebody that I think that may be able to find some of those in the wild, and maybe for a really nice price. What do you say to that, Lady Fantastic?
I'm up to the task.
You
That's
are
okay,
always up to the task.
I actually have some flaming carrots in my independent box. I'll have to show you the ones that I found.
Noise.
Nice.
Noise.
Yeah, the only thing flaming I get is when she trips over a candle and I have to clean up the mess afterwards. Which is why I don't have candles in this room.
Hopefully that's...
Sorry.
No, go ahead, lady.
Oh, like my cat right now, she's chirping at bugs. I have like the little door open and she can go out to the balcony and she's catching lightning bugs.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Rob, I hope that's not the only reason that you don't have a candle in your comic book room. And lady, does she ever poop in a blinking light? Like, does the poop come out and blink?
No.
Okay.
I do not see any bioluminescent byproduct in her scat.
You know, guys, I just want to say we are starting this show off classy.
I try to lift things up. We bring everybody up. We're going to take you all up with us.
There's a reason why we wind up having that graphic of TVMA. There's a reason why we even have this little bar going down at the bottom of the screen. If you're seeing that we're over 18, it's because we're constantly dropping F-bombs because we have given up all hope of trying to oh, I don't know, be like the
Decent
big
human beings.
YouTube channels, the ones that need to watch their language. We're going to tell you the real deal, how we think it. It might not necessarily be 100% accurate, but at least we'll tell you that because we're not owning comic book shops here.
Right. Right.
I don't trust you if you don't curse.
Fuck right.
Nice.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Not Near Mint is a show intended for audiences over the age of 18. If you're under the age of 18, please do not watch Not Near Mint. It's not that we don't want you as a fan. It's just that we'll probably get in trouble.
Yeah. Fuck
Not
it.
wrong. Womp, womp.
I want to see some comics. Who wants to see some comics? Who's got comics?
Yeah, that's actually what we were right here to be all about. So who wants to go first? I think that the person that wound up getting the most comics should go last. That's going to be you, Miracleman.
It sure is.
I know I got 3. Is there anybody else that can beat me and got only 2 or 1?
Mm-mm.
All right, then I'll do this real quick because I'll make this real short. I won't even have to blow myself up longer than 30 seconds.
Don't blow yourself on screen.
Oh, Jesus. We got kicked off 2 weeks ago. Come on, man. What are you doing?
What do you think I am? Are you going to drop my camera down here? There's a reason why I have this towel, and it's not because of Vernon shit. I have that, and I'm wearing nice pants, and I don't want it to get scratched up. No, aside from that, speaking of things I don't want to see scratched up, I picked up a Batman issue 93.
Nice.
This was actually a good story, and I'm a little sad to see that we're probably not going to see any more designer, and you'll find out once you read the comic why. But it was a solid read. This was the most expensive thing I picked up. It's Green Lantern, the $10 book.
Beauty.
It has a Jeff Johns story. It has a Benedetti story, and this cover was the Jim Lee, so of course I picked this one up.
Cool.
And the last book I picked up, I probably won't even read it because I keep forgetting that Scott Snyder's not going to finish the book here. He's finishing it in Death Metal, and it's probably just going to get filed, and I'll drop it at issue 50 just so I can have a nice even run.
Hey,
and
man,
all the books I picked up. There's a reason why I can't even show this stupid little graphic right here, because usually I say, what's in the briefcase? I can't do that because 3 comics don't fit a briefcase, and what's the goddamn point?
Hey, man, that Venditti run in Justice League has been very enjoyable and a nice change of pace. I enjoyed Snyder's run, but it was a needed change of pace for the Justice League title. The stories are tight, they're compact. I've enjoyed it very much since Scott's left the title. Just as a heads up, if you haven't read it, I do recommend it.
It was like 40 some odd issues straight of the same story where it just felt like fan service throughout.
Right.
I'm good if they want to tell a short story right now because I'm kind of burnt out from the story that's still going in Death Metal. Even the Gray Man's going $10. What the fuck? It's like they dropped just last week the Joker 80th anniversary. Before that, they did the Catwoman and these $10 books. I don't know if they were supposed to be individual issues or if they're just trying to milk us right now.
Yeah, they did Robin before that as well. Robin had come out. So you got Robin, Catwoman, Joker, Green Lantern. Has there been any others?
I forgot about the Robin.
The Robin one? Did you say Robin?
Robin.
Yeah, there was a Robin one I saw.
Yeah. So I mean, there's been four of these $10 square bounds in the last 6 weeks, 5 weeks. There's been too many. Yeah,
too many.
And each one of them has at least one awesome story from one of the great eras of the character. So you feel like you kind of have to get them. But man, yeah, I'm $10 booked out.
And just
I didn't get a single one of them.
Yeah, I didn't get any of the other ones.
Oof.
I'm convinced I
didn't get the Joker one. The Joker one was really good.
I guarantee you 90 days down the road, I will find that shit for $2.
Right.
Watch it.
$2? I think you're overestimating. You'll probably find it for $1, maybe even $0.25, because they printed the shit out of those.
Oh yeah.
There's
a lot of copies.
Flood it, baby, because I'm not paying 10.
Right.
But I did. Why? Because I felt bad going in there going, oh, so you didn't get any of your Marvel, which this is something I meant to say at the very beginning of the episode. So I'm going to blow myself up.
Yeah.
Marvel, DC, if you're listening out there, and you're probably not, but if any of this gets passed around to the people around the office, I don't want to interview any of the creators. No, let that be other people's jobs. I would rather be as surprised as everybody else on Wednesday for what's coming next. No, I want to talk to your marketing department. I want to talk to your promotions director. I want to find out what is going on behind your printing schedule and what decisions are leading you to do what you're doing. Now, Miracleman was able to secure all of the titles. Meanwhile, all the rest of us on the show were at different corners of the country, and most of us didn't get everything. As you saw, I didn't get any of my Marvel because nothing came out. All the Image, for some reason, they just didn't ship it to this particular store down here in Miami. Similar things I've been hearing from people all across Instagram, and all I want to know is, are you solving? Are we going to wind up seeing things in the future? What is your plan? I don't want to ridicule you. I don't want to tell you to go F yourself because I love this industry. I want it to continue, but we have some questions, and I'm sure that many of us want to see those answers.
I just on a side note on that, I did speak to my LCS about it today because when I walked into the shop, around 12:30 in the afternoon, he opens at 11 on Wednesdays. He had just put up his table to start breaking down his books to put out on the shelf. They had just arrived. They were supposed to arrive Tuesday, and when they didn't. So I don't know about that, Dusty. I'm gonna send out some text now as soon as you say that.
Yeah. So
yes,
for
that's
them,
true. What Dusty says, nothing's dropping next week. We're fucked.
Wow, okay, so for those that listen to the show instead of watch it, Dusty Brick Brown just dropped a comment in the chat saying neither Marvel or DC have any books dropping next Wednesday. It's crazy. That's the first I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, I didn't realize. But what I heard was that, they were supposed to get their books. The shops get their books Tuesdays from Diamond. They have a street date of Wednesday, so they get them Tuesday. Most shops, after they close Tuesday or as they're closing up, they lay out the new books for Wednesday, whatever they do, a table, they do it on the wall, whatever, fill their pull bins and for the reserve customers and close up shop, come back in Wednesday, start selling books. Well, he didn't get his till Wednesday morning. So what happened was Tuesday, he was supposed to get there. That time came and went. Then they were still telling him all along, yep, you're getting your books Tuesday. You're getting the books Tuesday. You're getting your books Tuesday. He closes up Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, he gets an email 5 minutes before the shop's supposed to be open. Hey, your books are going to be delayed. Now, that came from the Friendly Neighborhood Diamond folks. So as everybody knows, DC has split off into doing their own distribution system. Now, I've talked to a couple of comic shops. Most of them seem to be pretty positive about it. And I've heard some mixed reviews. But I guarantee what happened was, here's what I know what happened. DC reached out to the stores and said, what can we do for you right now? When all this began. They reached out to them through email. And the stores overwhelmingly had one message at the beginning of all this. Get me product. Right? We all know that. Right? Get me product. They had nothing to sell. They had nothing new on the shelf. I mean, they got stuff, but they had nothing new on the shelves. We all know the likelihood of selling a 2-month-old title that's sitting on your shelf. You need new books every Wednesday. So they said, get me product. So that's what DC did. Now, I'm hearing there's some folks who are irritated about it, who don't like the way it's going on, yada, yada, yada. Way to go, Ed. And but DC, because of what happened with the DC Diamond split, DC agreed to allow all the books that had been already solicited through Diamond to still be shipped through Diamond. Now, you think that's going to make things a lot better. However, it didn't. Couple of things. Number one, Diamond is tracking all those books as specials. So they're not coming up as regular DC books. So what happens is when LCS gets their list, they're showing canceled all the way down the line on all their DC books, and then they're all added as specials underneath. So it screws up their pull list. It screws up their ability to check off like they normally would. Number two thing that they did, Diamond, as we all know, is the big mad at DC. Okay? It's what, 25, 30% of their business, 25% of their business. They're losing big time by not having Diamond or DC. But frankly, particularly after Back the Comeback, I have no feelings towards Diamond on that myself. I can't imagine any of you are feeling bad for Diamond or any of our listeners or viewers. But Diamond seems to have decided, because DC is leaving, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure everybody knows that was an excellent decision by DC. So you're seeing these shipping problems. These shipping problems are 100% due to Diamond kind of going meh after all. Sorry about that. I just went off. I apologize.
No, because we're all wondering the same thing. What's going on? And
It's a shit show.
Yeah, from state to state, everything is different because we're still in the middle of COVID. We're in the middle of a pandemic. And whether you want to agree with the fact that it exists or not, it doesn't matter what you think. Some places aren't open. Post offices are having problems with orders. But overall, they're just trying to put out whatever they can in a very arbitrary way where there doesn't seem to be rhyme or reason what goes out or how much. Like, Lady Fantastic, did you get a Thor issue 5 today?
No, yes, but not the way I thought.
Let's see what
So I wanted it at the store. I went to the store today.
Break it down.
There were two fucking things. That's all I wanted. I wanted Thor and Batman 93, and they didn't have Thor. And I was like, motherfucker, what the fuck? And I knew it was going to be a big one because of the Black Winter, and they said it was going to be low print, but I don't know. How much do you believe it until you actually see it? Whatever. It wasn't there. I checked online, and it was they're already listing it for like, $20 to $30. And yeah. And so I was pissed off, but I want that run because I have 1 through 4, and it's the one thing that I've been really enjoying. Not the one thing like it and Valkyrie, Jane Foster's Valkyrie. Like there's a couple of Marvel things, but there's not many. It's just that one. And they didn't have it. So I bought a copy off of eBay, and I ended up bitching about it on IG. And then Super Russ is like crazy nice guy. He ended up like sending me $17 and saying, "Hey, that's your A-okay." And I was like, dude, man, it was really cool of him.
Very nice.
I mean, yeah, it's really, thank you, man. And now I'm trying to ask him like the shit that he likes, and he won't tell me, and I'm mad.
Action Comics #1.
Yeah, okay, I'm right on that.
From volume 2. We'll play with it. It's kind of like back in the 90s when one of your older friends would say, "Yeah, my dad has a copy of Spider-Man #1," and you finally go to his house and it's the McFarlane one.
It's the one. McFarlane, yeah.
You died.
Or it's the one with Spider-Man and Wolverine.
Occasionally it's Ultimate.
Closer, better, but not quite.
But yeah. Did you show us what you got, Rob?
Yeah, 3 books. It went so fast that I didn't linger. I didn't jump to a different camera because, many people are very used to me going, "Hey, everybody." But this camera is now used for something else because I'm not going to set shit up for 3 books. I could get COVID for this.
Yeah, so like Russ said, he had to go to 3 shops to find Thor 5, and he only got the Marvel Zombies variant of it. He couldn't find the A cover, I don't think. And they had the Zombies variant there. Yeah, and when I went to my shop, they didn't have the regular A cover of Immortal Hulk. They only had 1 copy of the Marvel Zombies variant. And I was like, I don't fucking want that. I want Alex Ross A cover. Like, piss off. And so I was grumpy. But did you get comics today? Comics on the Mind, Kirk?
Whoops, wrong one.
No, I didn't get any.
They're in your box, though. You're gonna go get them.
I didn't get any new books today. Yes, I'm going tomorrow. Both are in my box.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to show you then what I got. I got 5 books today, 3 of which I got at the comic shop, 2 came in the mail. And so I actually ended up picking up the Batman Beyond 44, just cause.
Get that either.
And then I got Batman 93. They only had one issue of that, one issue out of that Batman Beyond, and I grabbed it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then this was in the back issues. This was the substitute for my Thor, because I had to get something. Yeah, this is actually issue number 9. And then these came in the mail.
Oh, Defenders.
Oh,
5?
Yep, Defenders number 5.
I'm drooling right now.
And Defenders number 7.
Very pretty.
Yeah. So I have 1, 2, and 3, and this is 5 and 7, and I've got 6 and 8 on the way. I need to. The 2 expensive ones are going to be 4 and 10. 4 is the Valkyrie, and 10 is the Hulk one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that Valkyrie one.
Yeah, but I'm excited. I found these, man. If you look on eBay, these are solid like 7.0s or whatever. You can find these for less than $20 a book. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the shop I go to, which I love my shop and everything, but I know that certain books I can get there and get it at a nice deal, and others are going to be exactly what they are, a little bit more than eBay. So that's one of those where, yeah, you got a hell of a deal because he's charging about 20 a piece or a little bit more.
Yeah, so the guy on here, it was one person selling both of these, and I paid the total like $25. And these are both nice. I mean, I think that's totally fair. I would, I felt like, ooh, I got one on him.
Right now, you have one on many of us because we just don't have them. And
yeah.
$2 on eBay. So,
Rob, you have infinitely more keys than I do. So look what you're surrounded by. Don't you weep. I'll wipe your tears up with those keys.
You'll be
All right.
So you can go swimming in those keys.
This is just a comic book starter set. I mean, just look at all the stuff back there. They're all reprints. They're facsimiles.
Facsimiles. You lying son of a bitch.
Here's some shit now. Something happened the other week.
We were all thinking.
So Heather, earlier last week, at the end of the week after the last show, she wound up getting the ducts cleaned on the entire house, which she hasn't done in years. So it's knocked all the dust loose. But the guy that came in here, and when he opened the door, it looked like this.
I love it.
And it took him a few minutes because he's going, "What's this? What's this?" And then he goes, "So you have like first appearances of characters?" And then all of a sudden, like a light bulb, it hit. So you mean these are all worth money? And then I went, "Shit, no, not at all." Because what's the first thing that comes to my mind when somebody all of a sudden has that light bulb in their head when they go, "Hey, those are worth money"? I'm going like, "Oh shit, is he probably?" I had to talk down everything. Yeah, before COVID hit, these were worth money, and now I get pennies on the dollar. Now, we all know if we tried putting any of these up on Instagram, they go for more than fair market value because I don't understand comics anymore.
Books are going for more than fair market value because we did a great job giving everybody extra money for unemployment, man. I mean, that's why. Let's be honest. What's the one thing that's different in this economic downturn? People got more money in their unemployment, so they didn't have to dump their books. They got to stay home and read them instead. Which, hey, listen, man, I'm glad about. Although the ghoul in me was looking forward to some cheap comics.
Same here. I was even saying it weeks ago.
You were.
I will admit when I'm wrong. And weeks ago, when I was saying, hold on to your money because you'll get some fantastic deals, here I am saying, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
It happens.
Yep.
That'll be the edit that I cut out for next week's episode. I was wrong. And then we're going to jump into Not Near Mint, 19 Overture.
All right, so am I up? Is that what we're saying now?
Did you finish up, lady?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. And now we're up to Unless Mind Shift over here has a couple books that he got in the mail.
Oh, what you got, Mind Shift?
Oh yeah, I mean, I can show off some AOKs that I got.
Let's see them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've seen my comics. I want to see everybody else's.
And don't forget to subscribe to Mind Shift on Instagram.
Man.
I've been waiting a long time for this book.
Ooh,
Boom!
bam!
His
Bishop.
First appearance of Bishop. Yes, I thought the issue before was his first appearance, but that was his cameo, and now I have the first appearance, and I'm so happy.
Very nice.
And then here's a series that I was talking about with Tacoma Comics, and he sent me like the whole run.
Oh hell yeah!
Kwanzaa. I can't wait to dive. I can't wait to dive into this and read it. Isn't that like an Ultron? It looks like Ultron for me for some reason.
Is that the series that I remember reading about last year where they were saying that only black people on Earth have superpowers and everybody else are like the regular muggles?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I gotta read that.
Kwanzaa Osei. I never say it right. Osei Yetho, I think his name is. Oh, that's a killer cover.
Nice.
I know. Look at Trump.
They just did a sequel to this.
Yeah.
They just did a sequel to this. I can't remember what the name is. Yeah, the sequel, the Kickstarter finished just a couple of months back. God, I can't remember what I can't remember what the sequel's name is. I'll let you know. I'll find out. I'll let you know.
Please, I'm gonna hop on that definitely.
Yeah.
And then that was from Tacoma Comics. This is from Kenny AK Comic Head 84. Got some X-Men. Professor X is betrayed.
That's the Toys R Us special.
It is.
Yes. I was like, R.I.P. Toys R Us. And then I got some Dazzler. Dazzler number 3 with some Doom.
Love it.
Boom.
I know, right? And I love, this is one of my favorite covers. I have 2 copies of this now. So
You do? Shit nugget.
Shit nugget.
I love it because
it's such a good cover.
Rom
Yeah,
and Black Bolt.
Invisible Girl.
Yes, I love this cover. And then he basically gave me the whole Child Within run.
That's hell.
And I love Vermin. Like the death of Vermin was awesome. These covers are great.
A Vermin.
Berman always struck me as a sad character.
Definitely, but I think he's definitely an underrated supervillain.
Whenever there's a whole bunch of vermin, it's insane. It's like zombies.
Nice.
It's like one, not so bad, almost harmless.
And then the aftermath. Don't destroy me. And then I got super hyped because I thought this was like the first appearance, but it's the reprint. But I don't care because I love this version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So awesome. I started collecting this run of the Guardians of the Galaxy when I first started collecting comics in general. When I was like, the day I started I'm gonna read these. Oh, these are really great. Oh, I'm gonna keep on collecting. I need more. Give me more. That's all. Oh, and then my favorite dynamic duo. I don't care if you're not listening, but listen in, DC. Please do a a black label of these two
Yeah.
characters, please. I want to see. They need to have like a comedy like book with these two. This is great. I don't collect pops because they're highly addictive, but you know.
Supposedly, CW has a Booster Gold show coming, and they're gonna have Blue Beetle.
I heard.
That's what they're saying.
Oh
That's what they're saying.
They had Booster Gold on Smallville. They did it. Blue Beetle would not
no
be
way
to do. To put them together in a show and base it off of the loose writing of Keith Geffen, not hard because he's mostly a comedy writer and it's slapstick comedy, but it's fun and it's not super serious. It's not dark. It's different for DC and they should definitely do it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Blue and gold, baby, all day long.
Is that like a football team too? It
might be. I don't know. I'm definitely talking about Booster and Beetle though.
Yes.
So is it your turn now, Miracleman?
I don't know. You good? You good? Comics on the mind? All right.
Oh, I'm good.
All right. So I'm just gonna be honest. I had a big haul this week, guys. I actually had to leave books behind. I had so many.
Oh,
I know. So I'm sorry.
You're gonna shed a tear too for him.
If everybody wants to give me the finger now that I'm on screen and nobody else can see it, I'll know you're giving it to me. Don't worry. So let's start up with. So let's start off. You know, what I imagine everybody picked up today. I got, of course, Green Lantern 100-page super spectacular, the Nicola Scott cover. I just love her work. You know what I noticed about this book? I don't want to get any hate mail from anybody, but I noticed one particular Green Lantern creator that wasn't invited back for this book. I wonder who that was. I'm not going to say their name. I prefer they who shall not be named.
Ethan Van Buren.
That's
Armin
it.
Van Buren.
That's right. Joseph Stalin.
Armin Van Sciver. Yes.
Ethan Van Shitstorm.
That's actually the most appropriate nickname I've heard yet. Yep, not invited back for that book. What kind of a kick in the guts has that got to be? Defined an era along with Jeff Johns and not invited back. You know, that's what toxic does to you, boys and girls. It gets you not invited back. Listen, they invited Chuck Dixon, the guy who wrote books for Vox Day, the avowed white supremacist, to come back and work on their 80-page giant for Robin and and Catwoman. But they didn't invite Ethan back for Green Lantern.
And it's like I said before, if you want to get along in any industry, no matter what it is, I can no longer remember who attributed telling me this.
Gaiman.
At this point, I'll go, yeah, it might have been him. I've told the story so many times, I can't remember who I can attribute it to anymore. But it's sound information that either one, be a superstar, and not everyone can do that. So if you can't, the next two are important. Get your shit in on time or file the deadline. As long as you're good on that, you're pretty okay. And then number 3, make sure you get along with people. It's not that hard just to play a little bit nice instead of being a dick. A dick will get you things in the immediate, but it'll cost you in the long run. Just ask even Ethan Van Buren.
Just ask guy who nobody's going to remember their name in 10 years. So, next up, boys and girls, if you did not buy this comic today, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a sleeper. And yes, I did mean the joke.
Ahar.
Ahar. Whose names are at the top of this book, boys and girls?
Your mom.
That's true. Right, there you go. Meow. Stephen and Owen King. Sleeping Beauties. You know what?
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's Owen?
His other son.
What the hell? All these kids coming out writing shit.
He's got another son?
He's
got another son.
My children will write.
What's that, Rob?
You sent the picture of this earlier today. I mean, first I couldn't pick up a single independent, no matter what. Not TMNT, not Jenica, not Spawn. So of course, no Sleeping Beauties. So when I'm looking at this book, I'm going, well, I don't know what it is, but if he sent it, I'll get it. You did tell me after I'll get that one appearance of Wally West as sitting in the monitor chair.
Yeah.
So okay, I'll pick this up too. And of course, I can't get it yet. But I didn't realize that it's written by Stephen King and his son. Not Joe Hill, the other one.
The other one. Yeah, so this is all about the princesses, the Disney princesses. They're not the Disney ones. They're the what was the original? Where do they all come from? Old Mother Hubbard, all those old Grimm's fairy tales. These are the Grimm's fairy tales versions of the princesses. And they're the Sleeping Beauties. Guys, this one's going to be a sleeper, guys. This is going to blow up.
I will agree with you once it gets to issue 3.
Well, there you go.
First, if they can actually come out with more than 2 issues, it shows me that, oh, wow, they're actually planning on finishing this instead of let's capitalize off the first issue to sell the rights to a studio.
Right. Well, that's entirely a possibility. Up next, White Widow number 4 from the Absolute Comics Group. I don't know if anybody's picked this up. I remember picking up the first issue and I put it down because I had a big haul that day, so I hadn't been picking it up. This was the first one that it got onto my pull list. Listen, this is going to be a solid Antarctic press level title. Okay, it's good. It's not big too good. Okay, but it's good. It's a solid title. It's some great art, cover art. Interior's not quite as good. Still good. Not quite as good. But I love every cover that I've seen for this title. So that alone has got to put on my pull list just because I just love the way it looks. Look at that chrome. Look at the way that chrome shines, baby. Look at that. Holographic. Look at that. It's cool.
It's
next,
hard to find the White Widow stuff.
What's that?
It's harder to find the White Widow stuff out. Did you have that on order?
My shop gets one for the shelf, and I was there when he was putting them out today. Number 5 is on my pull list. So as number 5 starts, he had ordered one for me. So he might have the 1 through 3. They've done Kickstarters or IGGs where you can get, they've done it if you really want to get them. They're down. They don't have any first prints of number 1, but if your shop's open, they should be able to order 2 and 3 and the second print of 1 from Diamond. They are being Diamond. They are being stored or warehoused by Diamond.
What's cover on that?
$4.99.
Nice, not bad.
Cardstock cover.
Yeah, it's shiny.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty. This is a last week book, but there's Savage Dragon 249, 250 coming real soon, boys and girls. Listen, I haven't been a big collector of Savage Dragon throughout its entire 250-ish issue run. Primarily because I just couldn't get into Image when back in the day, but I've been picking up Savage Dragon recently. It's very Kirby-esque. There are superheroes falling out of the rafters. He uses a lot of public domain Golden Age characters like the original Daredevil, the one with the two-tone suit. It's a lot of fun. Going to be 250 real soon, and as I've been saying for weeks now, try and find me some Savage Dragon. The last 100 issues or 150 issues of Savage Dragon. Try and find them. Try and find the last 200 issues of Savage Dragon.
No.
Good luck. Good luck. You ain't going to find them. You ain't going to find them. I'm telling you, I go everywhere. You ain't going to find them.
Random issues from like the first 50 and out there.
That's it. That's all you get. After
I've
that,
never
I think
seen an issue in the 100s, never seen an issue in the 200s early on, and I've only seen occasionally like the new issue as it comes out day of release, and then you never see it again.
Right. The people who are buying Savage Dragon have been buying it since the beginning. Not a single one of them are giving it up. You're not going to find back issues. You're just not going to. And the shops aren't ordering a lot because they don't sell a lot. So
they print to order for the most part. If you want it, they'll print it just for you. They don't print extra. Right.
Up next here, Suicide Squad number 6. This is an issue setting up the story. There's some stuff that I hear is coming for Suicide Squad. I'm not going to blow it for anybody if you haven't heard yet. Don't know how I feel about it yet. Been a squad reader since the original issue 1 of the Ostrander run. And I'll tell you what, Tom Taylor, I trust you, Tom Taylor. I trust you.
What is it going to reboot it?
No. Nope.
Kill the whole team, turn him into the Justice League. I don't know.
Gonna kill somebody who's been around since the beginning.
Oh, good question. To everybody that picked up comics today, or at least talked to other people, what the hell happened in Teen Titans today, and why did it blow up?
I know nothing about it.
I heard somebody died, and I've been reading it, but I know they tried to kill the big fat boy, the bouncing boy that was in it, but he just stayed home and was playing video games, and the whole team came and went, "We thought you were dead." I'm like, I didn't think that you'd all want me on the team, so I've just been here playing video games. So I didn't know if they pulled a Glenn from Walking Dead and killed him again, or maybe they killed Crush because no one's really caring about Crush. I don't know. I'm just curious.
I know nothing about it. I'll let you know when I hear. Up next, first issue of Ash and Thorn from Ahoy. Listen, if Ahoy publishes it, I'm probably going to try it, but this was a funky-looking book. Ahoy's great, man. I know the publisher, or the editor-in-chief, Tom Pear. I met him. He's freaking awesome, dude, man. He's been around all the way around the comics block, man. He's done Valiant. He's done Disney. He's done DC. He's written Justice League. He's written Magnus. He's written Legionnaires. The guy knows comics. And he is just, I have yet to find a book come out from that publisher that I have not enjoyed. So I was absolutely on board when this came out. This is basically a story about, imagine if the Sorcerer Supreme was an old lady.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's definitely fighting some Cthulhu looking mother lovers, as you can see. First issue. Haven't read this one yet. I paged through it. Looks fun, man. Looks fun. Art's different, a little unique. So next we got our Alex Ross Immortal Hulk 34. Look at the big brain on Leader.
Does anything happen in that issue? Because that one more aftermarket too.
It's a new canonical origin for the Leader.
Works for me.
That's what it is. So that's blown up. It's going to matter more towards the current modern mythos for Hulk. That's really it. Superman number 22. Listen, I know a lot of people aren't big into Bendis writing Superman. I will say this: I am enjoying his introduction of the United Planets, which is an integral part of the far-flung future of the DC universe. Legion of Superheroes, very much to do with this. That's awesome. We've never seen how the United Planets were formed. So this is the first time the Superman story has been telling us how the United Planets came to be. And Mongol of Warworld has wanted to destroy it and stop it from the very beginning, of course, because he's a mad dickin'.
So is this kind of like an almost pre-origin of the Legion of Superheroes?
Yes. Very much so. Very much so. It's creating the world of the Legion of Superheroes, or the universe, I should say, of the Legion of Superheroes. This one came out a couple weeks ago, and last week, I just wasn't able to pick it up. This is Matt Fraction's Adventure Man. Okay, it's the Dodsons on art.
I like the Dodsons, man.
Right?
They did some great stuff with X-Men.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. This one, I started reading it. It's for $3.99. $3.99.
It's a fatty.
That's a fat book for $3.99, guys. And the story's been great so far. I haven't finished it, but the story's been great. And then I got what everybody else got. Oh, Batman 93, whatever. Little Justice League 47, whatever. Big 2 title, Transformers Terminator number 2. Guys, I'm telling you, that first issue shockingly blew me away. I loved it. I read that first issue. I couldn't put it down. It's good. It was good, man. It was really good. IDW and Dark Horse. Dark Horse does license properties really, really well. IDW is a little hit or miss, but Dark Horse handles them really, really well.
IDW is weird the way they put out their conjoined comics, like Transformers and My Little Pony.
Yeah, man. Yep, you're right.
What?
You're right. Weird crossovers, man. Here we got a Thor number 5. They had a bunch of them there. I think I might have another one for somebody else in the show tonight. Sitting in my bin right now. Ed, Thor's really good, man. What's that?
Do we have any bidding in the chat? Hey, it's that old comic smell.
Fantastic. Speaking of smell, listen, I'm not even gonna lie. If you don't, what's that? If you don't smell your comics when you buy them, I don't even know why you buy comics. I'll be honest with you.
You're not a real fan if you don't talk comics.
Raven Hex. This is actually Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, number 122. It's alternate paths. So Tarot is Jim Ballant's self-published book as Broadsword Comics or Broadsword Comics Publishing. I don't know, something like that. Broadsword. It's a mature readers. This is an example of the female characters wearing a lot of clothes.
That is a lot for Jim Ballant.
It is. It's his own book. What's that?
It's tasteful.
It's tasteful. It's very tasteful. So basically what this is a alternate history. So instead if Tarot hadn't been chosen, what if her sister had been chosen to be the Sword Maiden? And in case you can't tell, those are spike nipples. Yes, they are. Look at that.
They are.
I have those.
Speaking of Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, that's your intro to the next show.
Yeah. At 5108. I'm writing that down.
Speaking of Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, Jim Ballant and Holly Golightly. That's his. I don't know if they're married or if they're just in like a witch relationship that doesn't get married. I don't know what it is, but Holly Golightly is his longtime companion, and they did this Kickstarter last month. I think it was maybe the month before. This is the first 5 issues of Tarot collected. And this was the best Kickstarter I ever got in on. I think it funded at like 878%. It was insane. It got so many freebies. I can't show you any of them because they're all what they call sky clad, which means they're wearing the sky as clothes, naked. So I can't show you any of that stuff because I'm not getting us kicked off again this week.
No braids up the butthole shit.
Yeah, and we just use that graphic, but breaking news, everybody. This is a booty hole braided free show, meaning no pornography that goes on behind the scenes at Not Near Mint After Dark.
The only add-on, the only extra thing I can show you is this right here. Teen Tarot, that came with it because we blew away the funding goals. This is basically like an Archie's version of the characters. So it was a nice little change. Nobody was naked. So that was a nice little change to the Tarot mythos. Only
a little weird being that they're teenagers in a 18 or over book.
But it wasn't 18 and over. This is designed for, this is an all ages book. You won't find this in the shop. This is only available through the Kickstarter. It wasn't very big. It was a very small, like a 16 pager. And they're mostly like 1 or 2 page stories, that was fun to read. I actually enjoyed reading that one there. And now I want to show you the back issues I got. So you guys remember me talking about Milestone last week, right?
Yeah.
So I won't lie. I'm on a big Milestone kick. And I'm going to tell you right now, boys and girls, get yourself some Milestone comics. Okay? Because Milestone's coming back. The book came out last week. So can I give a spoiler for a book that came out last week?
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for Young Justice that came out last week. I talked about it last week. I didn't want to tell what it was last week because it just come out. It has now been 1 week. If you don't want to know this spoiler, which is going to be important for DC's future, don't listen right now. I'm gonna give me like 2 minutes. Milestone's coming back.
I'm plugging my earphone.
I'll tell you. Let me tell you how I know this. Young Justice had the new Bendis character join it. Naomi. We all knew that. Naomi joined Young Justice, right? Yep. Turns out Naomi's last name is McDuffie. Anybody know who McDuffie is in the world of DC Comics? Dwayne McDuffie.
Who is no longer with us.
Sadly. The creator, the godfather, the head of Milestone Comics. And the reason you find that out is because Impulse had gone around and found all this information in the Secret Star lab and pulled that information out and found out where Naomi was from in the multiverse. Told her, here's the information about the universe you're from.
Oh, wow.
Which I hands down guarantee gonna be Milestone. So I had a really great run of Milestone books I picked up, guys. I need to bag and board some of them yet. Some of them are still sitting in the old ones here. But here's Blood Syndicate 2 and 3, as well as 9 and 10. All 50-cent pickups. Oh, I'm sorry. And 17. There we go. Look at that. In this issue, everybody dies.
Is that the last issue?
That is not. There's more issues to this, but everybody does die in this issue.
How does it keep going if everybody's... Never mind. I guess I have to read it.
Then we got Hardware number 1. I had the bagged edition. This is the newsstand edition, even though it's not doesn't have a barcode. It's the collector's edition. Sorry, not the newsstand edition. Number 1 and number 10. And now I'm going to show you some hard to find stuff.
Yeah, last issues of some of these, don't you?
Oh, buddy. First of all, here is the crossover. Here's the crossover, Long Summer. I got both of issue 1 and 2 at cover price.
Oh.
Fully painted cover. Look at that beauty. And here's the thing about Milestone. If you don't know Milestone, Milestone isn't, I was at a comic shop. I was going to talk about weird comic shop owners a little bit later. And they said, oh, I hear DC's going to bring back Milestone. They're going all social justice warrior. Milestone is nothing about social justice warrior. This is superheroes in the hood.
That's it.
All right. That's what it is. Okay. They're not social justice characters. These are characters that got their powers. All the superpowered people are in the hood. All right. So this is a realistic depiction of people living in a depressed urban area who suddenly find themselves with superpowers. And the biggest character to come out of all of that was a fella by the name of Static Shock.
Oh, yeah. We all watched this cartoon show when we were kids. Well, those of us who were kids.
We all did. They even tried to bring him back with New 52. It didn't work out.
Yes,
but they even tried to bring him back. Love Static Shock. Great character. Here we have issue 26. Here's issue 27. It only ran 45 issues, guys. Here's issue 28. First 15 issues, not too hard to find. Anything after that, pretty tough. Here's issue 30. Here's issue 34, and I'm about to blow your mind
Watch
with the
this.
cover price, boys and girls. Final issue.
Fuck.
Whoa!
Who did that cover?
Wow.
What's the name on that cover? Mobius.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
No way.
I
Oh
paid
my God, it's right.
$2.50 for this book. And you know what? I was happy to do it.
I bet you were.
I was super happy. And
I
then
paid 10 times that. I paid 20 times that almost.
here's the thing with this book, by the way. This one here, you're looking at about a print run, if I remember correctly, of about 6,700 issues. Okay?
All right.
This is low.
Dang.
But Static Shock Rebirth of the Cool, which is their second volume, is looking at about 5,400 for the first issue, which is that one right there.
I love that cover.
And about
Impossible to find.
impossible to find. I got 2 copies. And
Keep it
cover
up.
price.
Keep it up.
This one was cover price. The other one was 50 cents. And here we have issue number 2.
Dang, dude.
That has a print run of about 5,100, 4,900, something like that.
It's under 5,000, that issue, yes.
Under 5,000. Listen, guys, I said just a couple of weeks ago, I'm going for milestone. I'm gonna knock this milestone off, and I have been hunting, but stuff's out there, guys. It's out there. You just got to dig for it.
In modern times, and I won't exactly count 90s as modern because it's last century, but the closest you'll get to like modern times, the print run that low for something people are still in demand for is Orc Stain.
Right.
That had, with each individual issue, it starts at like about 6,000 copies, and it just keeps getting lower and lower and lower until it's just below 4,000. And that's why you pay $30 an issue for it. Doesn't matter what issue, just any rando issue.
Right.
$30 at least.
$30.
Wow.
$30. So that was all my milestone books. Now I got some others. I'm gonna run through them quick because I kind of, I've been pontificating as I am known to do.
Uh-oh.
So here, this is the best Vertigo series nobody talks about.
Hey, Mark. How do you start? DMZ. There's a reason.
I know there's a reason. But DMC is a good series. It's out. It's over. Nobody's getting any residuals if you pick up them back issues.
Well, it was optioned, which is why the price spiked for a short period of time.
Right.
But then the stories came out about Brian Wood. But we'll talk about weird creators a little later.
We will. Don't buy the trades because Brian Wood probably still gets some money. But
issues,
buy the issues. You don't get no money for that. So I got
it's
that.
A solid read. It's Duncan Fagredo's artwork, isn't it? No, it wasn't.
Berchielli. It's a very dark and gritty and grimy type of artwork, which fits it perfectly. The story behind DMZ, for anybody who doesn't know it, is there's a new American Civil War, and the demilitarized zone runs right through the island of New York. Okay, so you got the not the North and the South, but basically the two factions fighting each other in the streets of New York City while people are still trying to live in the city. And it falls around one reporter throughout the whole story. It's a phenomenal story, guys. It's a phenomenal story. Don't buy the trades, buy the issues.
Yeah.
But issue 6 there is one of the. I need like 6 more issues after that. That was the lowest numbered issue I needed yet. Another issue of Fairest, because almost done with that one. These two are two of my happiest buys. These were $5 pickups, the most expensive books I think I bought. Justice League number 101. I already had this one, but the spine was rolled horrifically. Teen Titans number 4. Both of them $5 pickups. I think worth the $5.
Yeah.
Then everybody knows Bill and Ted is coming back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bogus Journey number 1 right there.
Dude, no way.
Now, the first one is the one that's really spiking in price, but this one's going to go up too. The first one was a popular movie. This one wasn't. And I just saw in previews, they're coming out with a sequel, a comic book sequel to Bogus Journey. So, I just dropped in previews today. Then I got a bunch of dollar books here. Ultimate X number 1, 2, 3. Final 2 issues I needed of Kurt Busiek and Carlos Pacheco's Aerosmith, number 5 and 6 here. Dude, this is a killer story, man. Alternate history. Go back to World War I, and there's magic and monsters and all kinds of stuff like that.
Oh, kind of like that Netflix movie Bright that wound up being really terrible because David Goyer.
Yes, but done well because Kurt Busiek wrote it.
Well, you get Kurt Busiek and not a guy that goes, I'm kind of bored with comics. Yeah, we can tell on your script.
We could tell. Yeah. And I also got some, lady-centric books. Here's Evangeline Armageddon. Now, the only reason I got Armageddon here, there was a bunch of other Evangeline books, but the Maximum Press ones is when you really started seeing the print runs start to drop because Maximum Press crashed and burned hard. Barbed Wire with a Ghost in the Machine appearance, John Arcudi. Look at this. Bay City Jive. written by the mighty John Layman.
Oh, is that before Chew?
Long before Chew. This is like 01. And I got to ask you guys, I need a consensus. How is that woman's shirt working?
It's not. Those are definitely implants, and it looks like if she makes the wrong move, that thing is going to bust wide open more than an explosion being hit by an airplane.
Yeah.
I consider this more an impressionist piece.
Hit the deck!
It's their version of what a shirt looks like.
Or what a human looks like, or titties, or anything.
It's almost like an alien was told this is what human anatomy looks like.
Yes.
And the alien's never seen what a human looks like, and just based on description just went, well, I guess this is about right. And that's how you get that art piece.
Right. But that's about right. Chains of Chaos number 3. I had the first one. This is Rook and Vampirella crossover. Then I got these. These really made me happy. 50-cent bin pickups, guys. Everything from here on out, 50-cent bin pickups. Creator-owned heroes. Look at the names on these books. Jimmy Palmiotti, Justin Gray, Neil Gaiman, Steve Niles. Over here we got... What's that?
You had me at Gaiman.
There you go. Then we got Paul Pope on this one. That's issue 2. Here's issue 4. Don't know why he didn't have 3. 3's probably the one that's like worth $100 or something. I don't know. Here's issue 5. This one's got an Amanda Connor on it. Right there. And then this is a funky little series from Top Cow and Image. It was called Freshman. It's co-created by Seth Green. Okay. It's
why not?
It's superheroes going to school. It's sidekicks going to school to learn how to be superheroes. That's what it is. They're going to a superhero university. They had 2 series. I got some various issues from 1 and 2 series there. Really fun book. I've read some of them before. Really enjoyable. And then last but not least, I got one more after these. Last but not least, a nice chunk of the Adam Warren run on Gen 13. Now I'm going to point something out to you that I'm willing to bet you can notice yourself. Gosh, aren't those ladies scantily clad on the cover?
A little.
Issue 62. Issue 67. Gosh, isn't this young lady scantily clad on this cover?
Who was this aimed at?
Issue 68.
Just a tad bit.
Gosh, this is really focused on this young lady's chest.
Is that supposed to be a tattoo, or you just see through her bosom?
It's her shirt. It's her shirt showing grunge. Issue 69. Issue 69. He would not be asking to get out. Issue 69. Gosh, those young ladies are scantily clad. Issue number 70. This chick's finally got some clothes on.
Whoa. Go back. Was that grunge as a woman?
Which one?
The one with the skull bat green thing on the chest. That's grunge, but that looks like grunge as a woman.
It's still male grunge. There is a female grunge that happens, but it's not this issue. It's just a poorly drawn male physique, because let's be honest, we know what Adam is concentrating on.
Yeah.
Adam Warren does a book called Empowered, which is about a superheroine that's dealing with body issues, and she has a superpowered suit that gets destroyed as she fights all the time. So she's constantly trying to hold areas that she's embarrassed by while fighting crime.
Kind of sounds like Project A-Co.
Yeah. And then last but not least, this was $1 pickup. Official movie adaptation of G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, issue 2, with the Baroness's booty. Look at that.
You got it, the booty. I fault you on that.
Can't fault me on that one, boys and girls.
Nope.
There you go. And that is the comics I got this week.
And those are the books. Unless anybody has anything else. Is everybody ready for weird comic books?
Yeah.
So I don't know where anybody wants to begin, where we're going to talk
God, what's happening to
comic books itself, weird creators, weird stuff that goes on behind the scenes at comics, weird comic shops. There's so much weird stuff that is involved with comics, because let's face it, if you are a editor that says, okay, you're a new writer and you want to write a comic book, here's what I'll tell you. Pretend that you're writing a movie where you have an unlimited budget that is only limited by how good your artist is. Now, do remember, if you write 30,000 battleships are attacking one ship, your artist will probably hate the fuck out of you. But otherwise, yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want. So be as weird and wild as you can, because if it gets turned into Hollywood, they're going to water that down to be as normal as possible. Want to know how bad it is? Go back and try and read Mantis's actual origin in the comic books, as opposed to what they did in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. What he said.
Wow, did I just take the wind out of everyone's sails?
No, I'm just like, but it's like, yeah, that's true, man. All right, I'm ready.
What's up, Bear Island Comics?
I should probably
I was
also...
actually reading one of these weird books that I got.
So what you got?
So
Wait, you want to go first?
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, I go. It's all me. I never heard of this. I got it from a friend of mine from the community, and I'm reading it now. And holy crap, it's very, very weird.
Fabulous Freak
It's
Brothers.
very, Soccer Bros. Freak Brothers. Yeah, this is very intense. Like a lot of people doing drugs. Like their uncle gets turned into like a parakeet. It is crazy. Like I'm talking about every drug you can think of, they're doing it. And the artwork is like amazing. It definitely has a lot of those weird vibes. So let me see if I can find a really good page. Look at, and it's in black and white, which I love black and white comics.
Heck yeah.
And they're like panicking because they think it's a bust and it's just a mailman. So they literally snort,
somewhere being
smoke, and like
Everything.
all the drugs.
All the drugs.
Uh-oh. Yeah. All the drugs. But it's really great. It was a really great read. What I read so far. But it definitely has a lot of those weird vibes to it. So that's my first one.
Well, a lot of places like
I got an oddball one.
Okay, go right
So-
ahead.
So now this is an oddball coming out of the 90s. If you've been around since the 90s, you have absolutely heard of this book. Warriors of Plasm. Any of you guys know this one at all?
Yep, that was one of the first books that came out from Defiant.
Never heard of this one.
Yeah.
They were trying to do something along the lines of Malibu, and we bought it initially because, well, it's a new company, and if Valiant is like a license to print money, and
Right.
Malibu stuff looks so good, well, what might happen with Warriors of Plasm? And then Defiant, there was Triumph. It was so weird back in the day.
So Defiant is the comic book company that Jim Shooter started after he was pushed out at Valiant. This is their launch title. Had a whole bunch of books. Good Guys, Dark Dominion. He came out with a whole line of books. And Warriors of Plasm was the launch one. In fact, the 0 issue came inserted in a previews. All right, which was an unusual move even back then. So the issue 1 here starts off kind of not necessarily exactly where 0 issues, but it's written by Shooter. See who the artist is?
Dave Lapham.
Yeah. It's some pretty high-end art here, guys. Take a look at this.
They certainly paid him enough, but When you read the story, it reminds me of everything that was the 90s. Let's just get the best artists, make sure that we pay them well, and then pay $1.50 in a coffee break to the writer.
Right. So, I mean, it's Jim Shooter, so it was his company. And Shooter, once upon a time, was a good writer.
He started Legion of Superheroes when he was, 14, 15?
I think he was 13 when he sold his first story to DC Comics. I have that issue, too. It's a Legion of Superheroes issue. Or it's an Adventure Comics issue, and it's a Legion of Superheroes story. And, that's where he started out. And, no, I don't have that one. I have his second story. That's where he started out. So Shooter was editor-in-chief of Marvel, I think, at like 31 or 30. I think he became editor-in-chief in Marvel. And he was one of the guys that left. He started Valiant. Valiant blew up. It was huge, and then Shooter got pushed out. And he started Defiant, and then Defiant it blew up. There was an ongoing. Sorry to see you go, Ed. There was an ongoing joke for years where comic shops were giving away free brick packs of Warriors of Plasm trading cards because of they just got stuck with so much merchandise from Defiant. And here's the premise of the story. Okay, it's actually an interesting premise, but it's really weird. So the whole idea is the characters you see there on the front, those humanoid-looking characters, those are Earth-bound humans or humans from Earth. And the entire idea here is this is a alien species, the Warriors of Plasm. Those are the humans there, but they're teleported to another planet, and most of them die. Only these few survive, and they flush all the ones that die right down into a mulcher because this society that these people were taken to survives by recycling organic material, which means if they defeat a society, they take everybody they kill or everybody they defeat and feed them into a mulcher to turn them into generic biomaterial. And then they use that generic biomaterial to build all kinds of things, houses, weird tales for the rich people of their society, all kinds of funky stuff. And, the premise by itself was just so weird. I remember this affecting me very dramatically because it's much like in Dune, where a way of showing your wealth was wasting water. A way to show your wealth in this society is to waste that biogenetic material and just put weird stuff on yourself and change the way you look. And at some points just slice open some of your defeated foes and just enjoy a good long lick of the biomaterial, which we all know what that is. Yeah. Listen, Defiant Comics, I'm willing to bet that there are more than a few foundations and installations at comic shops that consist primarily of Defiant Comics. They, at one point in time, were so prevalent, you had to literally shovel them out of the way to get to the other stuff in the cheap bins. I'm not seeing them quite as much anymore, though.
You will still see them, but I will file this under the category of this was garbage at the time. People will throw it out in mass, and if you give it enough time, people will go, hey, wait a second, I kind of want one of those in nice condition because Miracleman on this show that I watched from way back, I kind of want one. Well, you can't get one. Why? Because everyone threw them away. If you want one in decent condition, good luck. And all of a sudden, it becomes like a second print of something that now is like $100 because 10 years ago it was $1. And everyone's disposing of them.
Right. No, it's entirely a possibility. I don't know if Defiant will get there, but you make a good point. It's possible.
Anything is possible at this
That's
point.
True. It's true. It's true. Look how much people are paying for Ultimate Fallout #4. Aren't there like 5 billion copies of that book out there?
I got mine for cover price the day it came out because I was reading Ultimate Fallout because it was part of everything Ultimate. There was once a time when anything with Ultimate on it was like printing money. But then, like anything else, when they realize they have a hit, they flood the market and make it worthless. I mean, how much was at the high point a copy of Ultimate Spider-Man #1 by Brian Michael Bendis worth? It was like $200 at one point.
Yep.
Well, you can get the entire series, like 1 through 134 for like about $200.
Right. Nothing anymore.
Nice.
That Ultimate X-Men was good story though, man. Well, at least the first 75 issues were.
I read it. I liked it.
Yeah.
I got a trade for Ultimate X-Men and read it, and I agree. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good story. And the fact that it was brave too, because they killed Beast in issue 3?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was brave. I mean, they did not mind making things different.
No.
Yeah, Storm going, why are you so afraid of me? I
Come on,
pick my road and scratch my ass like anybody else. I'm just a human.
All right.
I'm like, I'm actually pretty dumb to just write it. That was my young, like 2001. I was 21. When you're 21, you're a dumbass. I'm sorry. By the time you're 31, you kind of know better to know right and wrong. But early 20s, you're still a little off. You're still finding your way.
You remember in the Ultimates line, I don't know if it's when Millar was in it or if it was still Bendis, but you remember in the Ultimates line for a while, they were trying to push that meatball was a common insult?
Yeah.
You remember that?
I don't get it. But
Hey,
yeah.
meatball. Get out of here, meatball.
Yeah. So what happened was Wolverine says it to somebody, and then like in like 3 weeks later, another Ultimates book came out where I think it was in Ultimates, where somebody else calls somebody meatball, and somebody wrote in and was like, why do you keep using meatball? Like, do you guys think that that's like a common insult here in America? Like, what are you thinking? And yeah, they just kept doing it. They just kept putting meatball as an insult because that was a common insult in the Ultimates universe.
Well, then you look at stuff like Batman Beyond, where they're trying to go, well, we can't use actual profanity, and this is the future, so let's make stuff up. We're going to slag them. It's like, that means kill, right? Yeah.
Right.
They came up with a whole lexicon of profanity for X-Men, the animated series that Wolverine used to bub this mother lover. I'm like, I know he definitely wanted to.
It was so goofy. I loved it.
Or the 2099 series.
Pop the middle claw. It's like, you will never pop that middle claw. This is for children's animation.
Yeah. Somehow he popped those claws, and all it did was like throw dirt. Like he dug them into the dirt, throw them in somebody's eyes and stuff. Remember in the 2099 line, they made, what was it? Shock you? Was it Shock? I think was their F word. Getting out of comics, Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, yeah.
I think they used to say something like "frack you." That was their F word.
Lobo, frag this crepe.
Yes.
Frag.
These mother fraggers.
Yep.
Oh, that reminds me. Towards the middle of July, there's going to be a new Superman Man of Steel. It's a slick animated new DC project. And it looks like the very first person that Clark Kent goes against is fucking Lobo.
No shit. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that.
I know.
He's like dressed up like the Grant Morrison New 52 Superman, but he puts on like a Captain Midnight sort of helmet and goggles. And that shit gets ripped off immediately because he's like, oh, this guy's an alien and he can do some real damage. And then he goes, wait, no, this guy's not really doing anything. Okay. Pow. Oh, wow. That worked a lot better than I thought.
Right on. Looking forward to it. Lady, you got anything weird to show?
Yeah, I got a couple of different examples. I've got like weird and just like the concept, weird and like physical differences, and weird is in like just the cover's weird. So here's weird where it's the same comic, differences in the color.
Yep.
Like that's just.
So is that one that's newsstand and one that's So are all copies that are newsstand slightly lighter than the version that was put out to direct?
I don't know, but this might be evidence of that. This concept is weird, dude. Star Trek and X-Men, but I love it. I don't care. I love it. So there's that.
Yes, I have that.
It's weird. I mean, but it's kind of like the wet dream of a lot of nerds out there. So I understand the marriage.
And to be fair, going back to early X-Men from '94, that they were talking about beam me up Scotty type of stuff. So very much X-Men was ripping off X-Men. So sorry, Claremont. We knew that your inspiration was Star Trek, so it fits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Spider-Man fighting Powdered Toast Man. That's weird. It's fucking weird, but I love it. Yeah.
It's weird.
It's great. It's weird.
What issue is that too?
That's issue number 6.
So I guess by issue number 5, they felt that the series wasn't selling enough.
You think
Where's Spider-Man on the cover?
Omac's a weird concept. He
Spider-Man
fights people with pacifist weapons, and it's strange. But I love Jack Kirby. But it's weird, I think, personally. But whatever.
What is he throwing?
A cube with the human in it.
Something weird I just heard about Kirby the other day, and I think it might have been from Comic Tropes, that back in the day, that when Kirby was drawing Silver Surfer, he was really tired of drawing spaceships. So he's like, you know what? I'm just going to draw a dude on a surfboard. Stan Lee looks at it and goes, why is this guy on the surfboard? I'm tired of the spaceships. And he goes, all right, let's roll with it.
It's cool. It lasted forever. Man, I love it.
That is awesome.
But this is weird.
Listen, I'm not even gonna lie. She is hot.
Prego's.
What's up with that S back she's got going on there, though?
I mean, the baby's heavy, dude.
I mean, it's kind of like when women are heavy at the top, you're going to notice that lower back is going to hurt. And when you're pregnant and you're kind of fat too, yeah, it just really kills the back.
Listen, she's either see, and look at that. She's either part Mr. Fantastic or that artist needs some help.
Okay, you want to know the honest truth, the reality of what happened there? Milo Manera forced her to get into positions no human being could achieve, and now she's permanently scarred with an S-shaped back like that. Thanks, Milo.
You present a valid point there.
Spider Spawn. Man thing with a Santa Claus hat and beard.
That's cool.
Is he supposed to be like God? The god of trees?
Sure.
Why not?
Sure. But yeah, it's just like a
or I'll burn you.
These are 2 weird anniversary ones. Like, look, Ewoks, they're a weird concept to begin with, and then to put them in this, it's weird.
Love it.
I love it, but it's fucking weird.
It's weird.
I'm also gonna say with the Masters of the Universe.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? I would have before, but they didn't ask.
That's a great.
I love that cover, man. I love that one.
I mean, yeah, it's cool, but it's
and
weird.
after watching She-Ra on Netflix, I now know that Hordak is just a gay daddy trying to raise his clone baby.
Yeah, Korvac is a gay daddy. What if it's the humor special?
Great.
He looks so pretty.
Yeah,
I have that one. I love it.
Great cover.
Classic Marilyn Monroe.
How can you not love that? How can you not love it?
It's good.
I see everything.
It's good.
I see everything, and now you see everything too, and you can't unsee what you have seen.
Howard the Human.
It's, good one.
Howard the Duck, but he's a human, and it's weird. It's trippy, but it's fun. It's a fun trip. Let's see, and then my last is I got a last couple.
It's a good.
Willow the movie.
Oh yeah.
Into the comics.
I know that's on Disney Plus. It's been so long since I've seen it. Have you read it?
I haven't read. Oh, the comic? No, I watched the movie. I have not read these, so I should flip through it just for the hell of it. But yeah, these were ones that I just got and bagged and boarded them, and yeah. Now I read the Ren and Stimpy, Rocco's Modern Life.
Oh yeah,
number 1. It's
very
weird,
nice.
but it's great.
Spunky!
Didn't come back on like some Netflix movie? And if so, has anyone seen it? And if they've seen it, is it any good?
I haven't, and I plan on seeing it though. I want to.
know.
That was one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. I love Filbert. I'm nauseous. Oh my goodness, that is
Hell yeah.
awesome. I love that movie growing up.
It's weird.
Hair could not have been easy.
I wanted that hairstyle, but
So
my mom wouldn't let me get it either.
and then he's reading his own like comic. That's kind of trippy. So
Nice.
yeah, that's all I got.
Reminds me, I've been watching this TV show that's on Netflix Prime where in the very first episode you have this really douchey sort of kind of guy that goes, "Hey everybody, want to come to my party? You can all wear my shirt." And it has the shirt is him holding up a shirt of him, holding up a shirt of him, holding up a shirt of him. And we all know people like that. We're like, oh God, no. No. But later on, as you watch the series, you realize that the person's really hurting inside, and he tries to cover it up by, putting on a show. Don't put on a show. No one cares.
Oh look, I found this in the quarter bin. This is a Tom King signature.
Nice. Very nice.
I know. I have another one.
What was that other signed book that you just found where it was signed in the corner by the artist?
Yeah. Ultimate Fantastic Four, number 4. First appearance of Ultimate Spider-Ham.
And that's the one signed in the corner. Yeah.
Chris Stevens.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
First appearance of what
Jinx.
ultimate character?
Dude, a fucking Ultimate Spider-Ham. Let me just show you the last page.
Wait,
Yeah.
there's an
You gotta
ultimate.
Ultimate Spider-Ham.
No. This page is haunting. Look at this.
I gotta see this.
No.
Oh Jesus,
Oh my God.
that's
What?
horrendous.
What did they do to him?
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
No.
I may
That's
never
horrible.
sleep again.
That's
Oh,
horrible.
God.
Ugh. Ugh.
Thank you for coming, everybody, tonight. This is the Not Near Mint Show. We are now canceled, everyone.
We're canceling ourselves.
Bye, everybody.
Jesus. What issue is that? Because I'm going to buy it.
It's a key, bro. Ultimate Fantastic Four, number 4.
4 are on the want list right now. There we go. I'll be hunting for that.
In a short period of time because Comic Tom talked about it for a hot minute. And when people got wind of that little picture there of Miles Morhamus, the
Yeah.
Spider-Ham, it blew up.
Y'all, I found this in the 50-cent bin.
Crazy. That is a haunting image. That is a
I like
haunting image.
Yeah,
That
it's
is a
pretty
haunting
it's pretty creepy. And that Dusty Brick Brown, I found that Kid in Playbook in the 50-cent bin.
Very hard to find. You're right, Dusty. That's a tough one to come by. A lot of those tie-ins are because they were non-traditional comic readers. They weren't collectors. They were typically readers, so they were much more of a disposable comic than any other comic coming out at the time back then. So, Kid and Play, you have a whole bunch of licensed ones like that. The Rocco's Modern Life, the Ren and Stimpy, all those books are very much the movie tie-ins. Right now, try to find yourself that 3-issue miniseries of Labyrinth.
Or Cull.
Or Cole. Or even that one's a little easier. Krull. What was the other one?
Krull, yeah, not Cull.
I can't remember the other one I was thinking of, but I just found that Labyrinth 3-issue miniseries, man. You're
There's
talking like
Dune. There's like Space Odyssey. There's lots of different ones.
Well, Dune is now going to pick up because they're making a whole new movie, and it
Right.
seems like they're a lot further along than any of us really thought.
Right.
It looks like this is actually happening.
Yeah. That's pretty insane. That's pretty insane.
I mean, I'm not telling anyone to go out and spend like $20 on the first issue or anything, but
No, definitely don't do that ever. It's not worth it.
yeah, go on up to Tennessee. You can go hunting through water bins and not do methamphetamines.
Right. Not.
Don't do it, dude. You can tell. I mean, I've never done it, but like, you can tell. Don't do that shit.
Usually you need to try it to really be able to tell. That's all I'm saying.
I've done a lot of things in my past. One thing that I can tell you, I just never even came across it that I'm aware of.
I had the opportunity to try it in college, and I was a pussy. I said, fuck no. Like, I was a biochemistry major. Do you really expect me to put shit that I know is like, fuck off.
You know the chemical composition of all of it.
Or I know that I don't know, and I'm not going to take the opportunity to try to put that fucking shit in my lungs. Piss off. I'll watch you.
But that actually does beg another weird little thing that I notice about when I go to comic book conventions. The weird people that go there that may or may not be on drugs while they're there, because while you're at a comic book convention and you're seeing everyone dressed up, how many people that are dressed as normal people, like you, me, you're wearing stuff?
I would freak out. If I were on mushrooms or something, I'd freak out. That's the craziest thing I've ever tried is mushrooms, and it was a great experience, but it was because I planned it and chose to be in nature and alone. But like, if
I had a mushroom trip where I thought that I was creating my own reality, and I could easily see how someone could become a shooter based on that, because you make up your own reality in that. Put somebody in a comic book setting. Holy shit!
I think psilocybin is actually starting to be proven as a very in small doses as a very effective treatment for PTSD, and they're using it in veterans.
Yeah.
So, the more you know.
Yeah, I heard that they're using microdoses.
Yes.
They're using microdoses for victims that are people that are like on their deathbed, and it's helping them. It helps them a lot. So.
Yeah, so that stuff and MDMA and stuff. Yeah, it helps them process and accept and come to terms. And
I agree.
It's really revelatory. It's very interesting. I don't judge people for the things that they do. I just judge the choice. Like, just be smart. Don't do stupid shit.
Don't hurt other people because you want to have some fun.
Yeah. If you want to go and stick shit in yourself and you know that you're not going to hurt somebody else, fine, do it. It's America.
But if you're a mom and you have to babysit your kid, maybe don't shoot up heroin in the parking lot of the club and leave the kid in the car as you go work the pole.
Yeah. Well,
did I just say that? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it is
right.
11:37 p.m.
Take the kid inside when you work the pole.
So this is like a very utilitarian concept, but like your right to have fun ends with the endangerment of my well-being. Like,
right. Yeah, that's fair.
Your rights begin and end at the tip of your nose.
Right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're smoking. The smoke should necessarily stop at the tip of my nose because it's been proven to harm others. Right. But your words don't necessarily end at the tip of my ears because I have to hear like you can say anything the fuck you want. Anyway.
This is true.
John Stuart Mill.
I'm a little weird being in the car and blowing it out the window. I don't even want to do that because my fear is in backcrap crazy Miami, that could go out the window and go into somebody else's window. And all of a sudden that psychopath gets out of their car at the next stoplight with a mini baseball bat and raps on my window going, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't want to deal with that.
You're not breathing out smoke. You're breathing out vapor, though. It's different.
They're not going to care.
No, they'll hit you in the head.
It's tangible that they can see the form of their general.
Right.
All right.
Hey, I want to show something weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
I almost got that the other day.
So, many of us
Nice.
are aware of this book, Punisher Meets Archie.
Isn't there 2 covers or 2 separate issues like that? Or is it the same issue with different covers? I can't tell.
I think it's the same issue, different covers. This is the Marvel published. The other one's the Archie published.
Mm.
Okay. And, this is in the 90s. I think publication date is 94. So, right when everything is absolutely insane. And of course, Rick Parker works on it because, he did everything weird. But here's the idea. Punisher Universe has an evil Archie lookalike. That's not Archie. That's not Archie. And he escapes to Riverdale. So, of course, the Punisher has to go and hunt them down. I don't know what's going on with Jughead in this one, but let's be honest, something fun.
He's twacked out.
He is
Yeah,
absolutely... He is cranked.
Archie, I need a burger, man.
He's got the Molly going.
Yeah, I love you. Let me hug you.
And here we see evil version of Archie attempting to steal Veronica.
What a
There we
jerk.
go. What a jerk. And, of course, Punisher handles him as Punisher handles him. At first, he thinks the skell, as he puts it, that he is after is good old Archiekins. But it's not. It's not, obviously. Good old Archie would never do anything like that.
Never.
So yeah, it all gets resolved. But boy, what a weird crossover. Punisher meets Archie.
Is that book relatively bloodless, or is it subversive, or how does it go along?
So it seems almost like it's one team is working on some of it, and then it switches to the other characters, and then the other team's working on it. It's very much a Marvel book, and then it's very much an Archie book, and then it's very much a Marvel book. So it's like every couple of pages it switches, depending on who's the focal point of the story at that time.
So, like the 90s, it's all over the place.
Right. So it's a very unique book. They've just recently done a Predator meets Archie, but that was handled really, really well. This was very much, traditional Archie, same character as it was in 1949 was the same character as it was here in this Punisher meets Archie. So very weird crossover, but hey, it was 1994. Comic books were just an excuse to print money. This had a $3.95 price. Oh, these are all going to fall. This had a $3.95 price tag in 1994. Look at that.
That's like a $10 one today.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. In today's terms, it would be like buying this book, The Green Lantern,
Right.
for $10.
Absolutely. Very, very pricey for the time. But they did that. They would get these books that they would have these $3.95 price tags, and they could sell them somehow. I don't know how, but they did. I did not pay $3.95. I bought this for 50 cents, as I'm sure you can all imagine.
I think out of all the different Punisher crossovers from the 90s that were actually any good would probably be Punisher Killed the Marvel Universe.
Heck yeah. Great book.
And when I read that book, it was the reprint with the Steve Dillon cover, and that's how I thought that was the first print, period. And then I didn't realize later on that there was a more Malibu-ish cover with a painting. But in reading that, it's all these families where the Punisher wound up. It's not the Punisher. It's all these superheroes wound up affecting their lives, hurting it for the worst. And it's usually like elderly people, women, people that were disaffected, and that pulled on the heartstrings of old Frank. And he goes, okay, so who do you want me to kill? All the superheroes. He's like, well, kind of like Craven. Don't mind if I do. Sounds like a challenge. And methodically, he picks off one by one. And as a written series that's basically just a money grab, and you knew what it was at the time, he had fun with it, and it was established, rooted in continuity, and it was great.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was a good one. I genuinely enjoyed that one.
Man, I gotta get out of here. I'm tired.
All right.
Understandable. So before we conclude out to the show, because we're kind of losing some of the viewers because we're getting a little closer to the midnight hour.
Sorry.
So we'll go around. No, it's all right. I actually have a job tomorrow at 10 a.m. Yesterday was nothing. Today it was one job. So I'll take what I can get. So I'd rather be awake than... Oh, back awake now. So let's go ahead and promote yourself, and we'll start it off with you. Fantastic.
Just I'm here every week on Wednesday with Rob and the Not Near Mint crew. Maybe having an auction soon, and maybe jumping on with people. I think JB with Discovery Bay is having a community auction this Saturday, and I want to be on there. So, come join. I was just on Hialeah's Inquiring Minds last night, Hialeah's Comic Bros, and I had a really good time. They were really fun. It was like talking to like friends that I had or something. It was really fun. Anyways, that's it. Nothing crazy. I need when I hit 500, I'm gonna do a contesting and giveaway. That's
Side note for Hialeah. Person, and we're still in the middle of the pandemic, be sure you're wearing a hazmat suit, because when he saw me last week, he went, Rob, ran over me and hugged me and put his arms all over me. And I'm just like deer in the headlights.
He's a good guy.
I love him. He's a great guy. I'm like,
on Comic Stories.
I don't get sick. I hope I don't get.
I can't wait to meet those two dudes.
They're really good people.
Yeah, they're great. They got some good books there. They're always fun.
Just rub some hand sanitizer. You'll be good.
Yeah.
I went home, burned all my clothes.
Yeah, Javi and Hialeah are cool dudes.
Mm-hmm. They're funny. All right.
And I'm just funny looking.
No, that's not true.
Well, Lady Fantastic, like always, thank you so much for coming tonight. And I guess we'll talk about what we're going to do next week. I've already been talking to Rutger, who some of you all know, Rutger Bosch from Instagram. And we've even been having, Miracleman knows this from Twitter, that we've been asked, people are saying, do more shows. Would like to, but just doing one a week is difficult enough as it is. So anybody that's watching it to the end of the video, if there's stuff that you want to see, whether we can incorporate it into this show or do a spin-off for a weekend, as long as we don't have to spend hours and hours and hours, we want to help you, the community. So I don't know if anybody else wants to just end it here tonight and we'll pick it back up next week, or if there's more stuff you want to talk about, but leaving it up to Miracleman and Mind Shift.
I could rap, man. I won't lie. I'm a little whipped myself.
It's been a long week. It feels like it's Friday, despite the fact it's Wednesday.
Actually, you know what? There's one thing I want to bring up real quick before we wrap, if I can.
Oh, okay.
Rob, you and I have discussed this. I think it came up in the chat that we were all in this week. There's been a lot of revelations amongst creators of inappropriate behavior, harassment, perhaps using their positions to take advantage of newer and up-and-coming creators. And all I got to say is, obviously we don't know all the facts on all those. I'm sure people have heard there's been some very big names implicated. And we may not have all the facts on all of those things yet. But if any of us are honest with ourselves, we think back on Comic Cons where most of this behavior is alleged to have happened. Let's just be honest with ourselves and admit we all know that Comic Cons were an excuses for some folks to be really skeezy. And now we're just getting names of people who did stuff. So, keep an open mind when you hear it. A lot of stuff I think is going to be blowing up really, really soon. Some of the biggest creators, not the biggest, but some of the biggest creators have been implicated in this behavior. And so when you hear about it, dig in, find out about it, and look into it. Don't pass it off as something that you just automatically assume did or didn't happen. Really look in and see what you can find out about it, because there's some folks that have clearly been acting poorly, left to their own devices.
some of these people have not even been charged with any kind of assaults or anything of the sort. But if you are in your 20s, I can kind of understand being immature enough not to know what you're doing is wrong if you're talking to teenagers. But by the time you hit the age going from 29 to 30, you have now had some losses in your life. You might have grieved a few times. You've seen joys and loss enough to know that if you are 30 years old and you are telling a 14 or 15-year-old girl, hey, I'm willing to look at your portfolio or help you out, but hey, maybe come out to dinner with me, or maybe come back to my hotel room or spend some alone time with me. You are now old enough to know that what you are doing is wrong, and eventually people will find out about it just as it's happening right now. And if you're the type of person that will support others, it kind of speaks a lot of your character. And perhaps sometimes even if you do support them, perhaps the best thing to say is nothing. But as we all know, if you say nothing, it's almost taciturn support. So if you know what you're doing is wrong, stop. That's all I got to say.
That sounds like a good way to end it right there.
All right. Well, how about we do some promote yourself to Comics on the Mind, because it's been a couple weeks. Comics on the Mind, why don't you go ahead and promote yourself?
Froze.
Froze.
Oakley dokily, peoples. I'm just playing. I don't really have anything planned quite yet. Still slowly getting into the still slowly getting back into the YouTubes and social media life. But I got some things in the works that I'm working on. I can't wait to put out there to the community. But slowly but surely. But I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna be on anybody's shows soon. But you never know. So yeah, I don't have anything planned so far. But I'm working on some things.
Well, that works for me. And there's one more person, isn't there? Miracleman. Go ahead.
So your friendly neighborhood Miracleman doesn't really do that much. I'm on the Twitter. Every once in a while, I might write an article for Batman's bookcase, which I haven't done in forever because I've just been incredibly lazy, and I apologize for that. But I have a couple in the can that I'm gonna get over to them probably sooner than later. Listen, I'll tell you something. There's one thing about me that I'm excellent at, and that is procrastination. So I'm gonna try and get that over to them soon, so you'll get some new content out of me there. And other than that, come on by, say hi at Twitter at Komodo1977. We can talk about comics. We can talk about movies. We can talk about video games. We can talk about the latest idiot who did the dumb thing on the internet. I'm up for all of it.
Because there's so many dumb idiots that do dumb stuff on the internet. And if you don't call them out on it, they'll just keep doing it.
Sure will.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, kids, rule number 1, don't die. Especially when you're hearing all those sirens in the background because, oh my God, America is scary right now. So I'm going to go ahead and promote myself.
Yeah,
and
they're popping a lot of fireworks out here like it's nothing.
Oh, shit.
That's the other thing. America has been having fireworks going off around the country. We don't know. We have some ideas.
I know.
So for any of you that wind up watching this on the replay, thank you for doing so. Those that watched us live, we do this show every single Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be back next week. My name is Rob Worst. You can find me on Twitter at Rob Worst. You can find me on Instagram. I should probably change that to now Not Near Mint. But otherwise, this is the Not Near Mint crew. Breaking news, I will be on the Comic Core tomorrow with Comic Man Andy at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, we got to do something about these banners here so that Lady Fantastic can actually be seen. But now, thank you all. And like always, we'll be back next week. So here is our closing theme song. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Rob Worst, Lady Fantastic, Miracleman, and Comics on the Mind will be back next week. Same time, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Not Near Mint.